How's it going, everyone? Eric with Oakland Tobacconist, and today I want to talk to you about a cigar you need to try. Now, you've probably heard me talk about it already, but that is because this is a cigar that deserves to be tried, and you need to try it if you haven't yet. Let's jump into it. You are watching Oakland Tobacconist. If you're interested in any of the cigars I'm mentioning now, or perhaps the OGT Cigar Society, make certain you follow us through social media, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. Most importantly, make certain you sign up for our email list so that you are getting the up-to-date information and the best deals we offer. Please don't forget to like, to comment, and subscribe, and make certain you hit the bell so that you're alerted every time we produce new content. Today I want to talk to you about the cigar that we just sent out to all of our members, and that is Year of the Nope Rope. I want to go through blend breakdown, flavor notes, an entire review, and why you should try it. Now, first off, people are going to say, of course you want to say that you need to try it because that is your cigar. But on the flip side, I would say I'm not going to have this cigar available in the membership unless it is something I feel like you should try. So very, very unique and very different from a lot of the things that we put through the membership, but also a lot different than maybe you might find out of the entire sea of other cigars out there. So let's break it down. This is a 7x42, sort of largish Lancero. Now, the original Lancero, the true Lancero, is a 7x38. But this is a bit bigger, so you get still that wrapper to filler ratio, but it feels like you're smoking something a bit more hearty, a bit more bold than maybe a traditional one. This has like a traditional cap. It is known as a flag. The flag top sort of finishes it off with a bit of flair. It's not like it's any flavor as such, it's just appearance-wise really cool, and then closed foot. Something I love about the closed foot is that is all wrapper leaf. So since this is a Mexican San Andreas Maduro, you get that immediate chocolatey, peppery, dessert-like wrapper leaf that's on the bottom when you initially light that up. So I'm going to go ahead and light this up. I'm going to go ahead and give it a pull, but what you can do on a closed foot is you don't actually have to toast it. You can go immediately into the experience. Okay, so immediately on light up, you get some of that pepper spice that I had mentioned, a lot of baking spices in there as well. The thing about Nope Rope, which was true of the original and true of this one, is that you have this vegetal component that's underneath, some leathery component. I also get some raisins as well. But the aroma is also there when you're smoking it. It has this sort of room note that conjures up Christmas spice type of deal. So you have these flavor notes playing together. Now the difference between this Nope Rope and the original was a Habano 2000, and I would say maybe a slight peppery, less sweet compared to something like this. What I really like about a Lancero, that wrapper to filler ratio that I had mentioned. So you have more wrapper than filler tobacco. Now, when we work with this particular factory, which unfortunately cannot be disclosed, it is somewhat a secret, just as the original was, and it comes from the same factory in Nicaragua. But the blender had told me the thing that they love about a Lancero is that he loves the fact you can't hide behind the blend. In other words, you could have a decent enough makeup of tobaccos, but in a 60 gauge, 70 gauge, you have so much filler tobacco that you can kind of hide what you maybe have in terms of primings, in terms of quality. When it comes to a Lancero, you can't hide, so that you have that really rich, full filler and wrapper flavor going on. Overall, just a really rich experience. Now, as I continue to take a few puffs, there's this cocoa-y, powdery, almost like burnt ends of a brownie flavor going on. Now, a lot of times people have the misconception, and you've probably heard me talk about this before, but if it's darker, if it's a darker Maduro, then that must mean that it's a stronger cigar, and that's not true. Traditionally, Maduro is known as ripe, and so it's more rich, more full, also sweeter as well, which all those things exist in this cigar. However, that's not to say that the filler leaves are very mild. Not at all. I would put the Nope Rope Maduro in that medium, some might say medium plus, but definitely full flavor, full body, more medium plus strength. Those notes of raisin, baking spice, burnt ends brownie, that kind of takes the forefront at the beginning of this cigar. Now, why do you need to try this cigar, as I had mentioned? One is that the flavor is fantastic and the construction is fantastic. When you smoke a Lancero, it's very difficult to find one that, on average, will produce the right amount of smoke, that will stay lit, that will continue to deliver the flavor that you want. Lancero is a very tricky size to roll, and so a lot of times they're either over humidified or too tight of a draw. Now that can happen. We are dealing with a handmade product, but more often than not, the smoke output, the flavor, as well as the draw are just right where I want it. But I would also further say another reason to try this cigar is because it is smaller in ring gauge, and you pass up a lot of amazing rich flavor and amazing cigars when you have a threshold on your ring gauge, whether it's the most common, the most popular 50 gauge or 52 gauge. You miss out on 42 gauge, something like this. If you're the type of person that wants to maybe try something new, and maybe wants a new experience, but maybe haven't furthered your palate journey yet, this is why you need to try Nope Rope Maduro. Or if you're a big fan of that like rich, chocolatey San Andreas Maduro experience, this has it in spades. There's multiple reasons this cigar has a lot going on for it. Now, unfortunately, it is very limited. So right now it is being offered to our members only, which is going very quickly. If you'd like to try this out, check out the membership to make certain you don't miss out on it. But for all those reasons, a unique size, a full flavor, an amazing construction, as well as that like concentration of wrapper to filler ratio, just to further your palate all over, this is a cigar you definitely need to try. Drop down in the comments if you've tried the original Nope Rope, or maybe if you've tried several other Lanceros, what has your experience been? I would love to know. Drop it down in the comments. I will then answer them to the best of my ability. As always, thank you for watching. We will see you next time on Oakland Tobacconist.